Here's my noisy neighbours that come back every day. And this is what I've been waking up to for the past week or so. It's kind of wonderful, isn't it? Me and Aitch are moored up in Ware on the Lee navigation, and we're going to go down to Stanstead Abbots, and we're going to show you the bits that we missed when we had the storm in vlog number 3. I'm going to miss this place. I can't speak highly enough of Ware. I had family come down and visit me while I was moored up here, and they thought exactly the same. So if you get the chance, go and have a look. You won't be disappointed. If for some reason I ever have to move back to dry land, I'd consider this place. The Saracen's Head. Now, it's closed at the moment, but when it's open and the weather's half decent, I've not seen one of these tables with an empty space. It's buzzing, and the smells of the food, because I was moored up about 100 yards back. Oh, it used to send me crazy. And then spitting distance away, you had another place that was just as popular, the Waterside Inn. You can see that people want to be here with all these new build flats or apartments, and they've done up all the old industrial buildings and made them into flats. You can hear all the building that's going on around here now. Have a look at what some of the people have done here with their little bit of Riverside space. They made it into really nice social areas for family and friends to sit at and enjoy an evening or a day. Lovely. We're coming up to a bit of river here that's tight for space. You've got a bend and you've got wide beams moored up on both sides of the bend. And you can't see if there's any boats coming towards you. This nice gentleman on the narrowboat assured me that there was no one coming up behind him. So I girded my loins and went straight for it. Look at the size of that green wide beam on the right. There's probably more space in there than you get in most houses. So you can have everything you want in a wide beam. In a narrowboat, you just have to have everything you need. The downside to these wide beams is you're very limited to where you can take them. In the middle of the country, the locks are only big enough to get a narrowboat through. So a lot of the time they just go up and down the same bit of river or canal. when I get to Stanstead Abbots, I'm going to have to find somewhere that I can moor up for 4 or 5 days. I've got some commitments that I've got to sort out that will take a lot of weight off of my shoulders. And it will free me up to relax and enjoy this lifestyle a lot more. I'm not saying that I'm not enjoying it now. I'm loving it. It will just be another couple of things that I won't have to worry about anymore. We're starting to move out of Weir and get into the countryside. The last time I came through here, when I was coming up the other way, I couldn't appreciate it very much because I was just getting soaked. As you can see, it's all very pretty. We're approaching Hardmead Lock now, and on the left you've got the obligatory weir every time there's a lock on the river. There's a nice looking lock cottage on the left, but I don't know if you could call it a cottage anymore. It looks like someone's built round it, over it, but they've done a good job. It does look nice. The lock gates are open, so I'm going to go straight in. I've already shut the gate on the right hand side, and I'm coming around to shut the left hand side gate, but the right hand side gate's half opened. So what I'm thinking, I'll let a bit of water out here, make a bit of pressure or current, and then go around and shut the gate, and it should hold. Just going round, and I've noticed that the gate's shutting itself. You'll hear it shut. There you go. As a solo boater, I'm finding it so much easier going down in locks than it is coming up. The only thing really that you've got to worry about is making sure that the back of the boat doesn't get hooked up on the sill as it comes down. you watch me up there on the right hand side, I'm not trying to tune it into Radio 1 or anything. I'm just trying to work out the mechanism. Oh, the penny's just dropped. Like I said before, when you're exiting the lock up here on the River Lee, you leave the gates open, but you must put the paddles down. Getting a bit spoilt really, because when I get on the canals I'm going to have to pull over onto the lock landing, come back up and shut all the gates as I go, which is going to make it a lot more work for a solo boater. To the people out there that watch a lot of narrowboat vlogs, what do you think of this end of the River Lee? Because it doesn't get shown a lot, and what I'm seeing, it looks beautiful. Coming up here on the right, there's a weird looking vessel, that white thing. Does anyone know what it is or what they are? Because it's got no windows, doesn't look like there's any entries on the side, you have to climb in the top. It's got an engine. Is it pulled by an horse? Who knows? And I like the look of this little narrowboat coming up on the right. Can't be no longer than 20 foot. I'd imagine it's really cosy in there. Not a lot of room, but very cosy. People have been asking me why I chose this lifestyle on the canals and why I've come out of a house and things like that. Well, I come to sort of the conclusion that all I was doing was knocking my pipe out, which means working hard, just to pay debts and taxes, and I wasn't living. I thought there must be something better than what I was doing. So here we are. Look at all these GRP cruisers moored up over here on the left. They're all pointing the same way. They put me in the mind of, you know, like when you used to see them Second World War convoys. Just saying. You get all different kinds of boats moored up here on the River Lee. going to slow it down now. We're coming up to Stanstead Lock. And the gates are shut, so I'm going to have to pull over onto the lock landing and sort it all out. Right, I'm off up there now to do some work. There's a swing bridge to sort out and the usual lock stuff. There's a YouTube video out about this lock and it's called Killer Lock. I don't know if you can remember when I was coming up the other way, it's the first lock we done. I was getting thrown about like I was in a washing machine. We only just cracked the paddles. There's the swing bridge over there on the left. I was having a job stopping the boat here for some reason. I was getting visions of ploughing straight through the lock gates. Here I am, getting my work out for the day. I won't lie to you all, when I first moved onto the narrowboat, onto Aitch, it did cross my mind if I've done the right thing or not, until I started getting used to it. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. Probably people out there saying, well, you ain't much better now. Difference is I'm a lot more confident now. And like I said earlier, I'm beginning to love it. And long may it continue. This lock's a complete different animal when you're going down. No problems at all. Right, we're on the last leg now of this little journey. Now we've got to find somewhere to moor up. somewhere over here on the right would do me, but it doesn't look like you could get a fag paper between these boats. If you're listening in America, that means cigarette paper. Sorry, I wasn't being rude. This looks like a very popular spot for the boaters. Still no space. This is Abbots Rd Bridge coming up. There'll probably be some towpath moorings on the right after the bridge. The problem is they're only 48-hour moorings. And I'm going to need 2 or 3 days more than that to give me the time to sort out a few things. As you can see over there on the right, there's some spaces that I could actually get Aitch in and moored up, but as I said before, they're not going to be no good to me. Nice little cottages making the most of their riverfront. Lee Valley Marina, this is where I bought Aitch. That blue crane is where I had Aitch craned out for a survey. And if you look, you can see a blue narrowboat there. That's where I was doing the work and the solar panels on Aitch. Looks like I'm going to have to try and moor up in these wild looking areas on the right. I've never done that before, so it's going to be a first. This is the other end of the marina. It's like a spit of land that juts out, and there's water behind this as well where they take other boats and moor them up. Right, here we go. I'm going to try and get in as close as I can. Wish me luck. I don't know if I'm going to bottom out. I'm just taking it steady. See the front of the boat rise up here where it bottoms out and then slides back off again. And this is what the mooring looks like. There's another first. I had to get the plank out. As you can see, there's quite a distance between the towpath and Aitch. And this is what I'm going to be waking up to for the next 4 or 5 days. Lovely.